Welcome everyone. I'm excited to start this journey with you today. On this first slide, we see the foundation of our discussion, a structured system that combines revelation, reason, and observation. This approach is used across various fields like theology, law, philosophy, and science. Today, we'll explore how Islamic intellectual reasoning integrates these elements to deepen understanding and insight. So let's get started and see how this powerful system shapes knowledge in diverse disciplines. Today, I want to focus on our primary sources, which are the Quran and Hadith. These texts are the foundation of understanding in this context. The process we follow begins with revelation, which serves as our starting point. From revelation, we move to understanding, where we interpret the messages conveyed. Finally, we apply reasoning to analyze and contextualize these teachings. It's important to see revelation as the initial step that guides us, shaping how we comprehend and reflect upon the teachings. This process underscores the dynamic relationship between divine guidance and human interpretation, which is central to our overall theme. Let's take a moment to consider how encouraging thinking, observing, and reflecting can really deepen our understanding. When we engage in this kind of rational reflection, we're not just passively absorbing information. Instead, we're actively interpreting texts, which means we're analyzing and making sense of what we read or hear. We're also resolving contradictions, those moments when ideas seem to clash, and this helps us develop a clearer, more coherent perspective. Additionally, rational reflection enables us to defend our beliefs confidently. When we think critically and reflect thoughtfully, we can stand firmly behind our ideas because they are well considered and rooted in understanding. This process of rational reflection, which in many contexts is called letter 2BF, a QL, is central to how we grow intellectually and spiritually. It connects directly to the overall theme of our presentation, emphasizing the importance of active thinking and reflection in shaping a meaningful, informed approach to knowledge and beliefs. On this slide, we're highlighting some of the most influential key thinkers in the history of philosophy and science. First, we have Al-Ghazali, a prominent Islamic theologian and philosopher who made significant contributions to the reconciliation of reason and faith. His work helped shape medieval Islamic thought and influenced later Western philosophy. Next, there's Ibn Rushd, also known as Averroes in the West. He was a philosopher and jurist who emphasized the importance of reason and rational inquiry, advocating for the harmony between philosophy and religion. His ideas played a crucial role in transmitting classical Greek philosophy to Europe. Then we have Ibn Sina, or Avicenna, who was a pioneer in medicine and philosophy. His comprehensive texts on medicine and logic became standard references for centuries, bridging the gap between scientific inquiry and philosophical reasoning. Overall, these thinkers exemplify the rich tradition of intellectual inquiry across different cultures, and their ideas continue to influence how we understand the relationship between faith, reason, and science today. Now, let's look at the structured derivation of rulings, focusing on Islamic legal reasoning, or usul al-fiqh. This is a foundational concept because it explains how scholars arrive at Islamic rulings through a systematic process. Essentially, usul al-fiqh provides us with the principles and methods used to interpret the primary sources, namely the Quran and the Sunnah, and to develop consistent legal rulings. One key point here is that this process isn't random. It's carefully structured to ensure that rulings are rooted in authentic sources and are logically sound. It involves understanding the sources deeply, analyzing their meanings, and applying reason and analogy where necessary. Another important concept is the idea of ***, which is independent reasoning. It allows scholars to address new issues that weren't explicitly covered in the primary texts, maintaining the relevance and flexibility of Islamic law. Connecting this to our overall theme, understanding usul al-fiqh helps us appreciate the depth and rigor behind Islamic rulings. It shows that Islamic law isn't just about rules, but about a well-founded methodology that ensures justice, consistency, and adaptability over time. Now, let's take a closer look at the key sources and methods used in the Islamic legal process. First, we have the Quran and Hadith, which are the primary sources of Islamic law. They provide the foundational principles and guidance derived directly from the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. Next, we have Ijma, or consensus, which involves agreement among scholars on legal issues when the primary texts don't provide a clear answer. This helps ensure unity and consistency in how laws are applied. Then there's Qiyas, or analogy, which allows us to extend existing rulings to new situations by identifying similarities. This keeps the law adaptable to changing circumstances. Lastly, we have ijtihad, or independent reasoning, which involves scholars applying their judgment to interpret the texts and derive rulings when the other sources are silent or ambiguous. All these methods work together as part of the legal process, helping us develop and apply Islamic law in a thoughtful, reasoned way that remains true to its core principles while addressing new issues we face today. When we talk about observation, reflection, understanding, and faith, we're really exploring how our curiosity about the world has shaped our knowledge and beliefs. Observation is the first step, simply noticing the world around us. This has had a huge influence on fields like astronomy, medicine, and mathematics. For example, early astronomers carefully observed the stars and planets, which helped us understand the universe. Similarly, in medicine, keen observation of symptoms led to breakthroughs in healing. In mathematics, noticing patterns in numbers and shapes opened up new ways to solve problems. This process of observing nature isn't just about collecting facts. It's about engaging deeply with the world, questioning what we see, and building a foundation for understanding. This curiosity and careful observation have driven scientific progress, helping us move from mere wonder to insight. So, as we continue our journey, remember how powerful simple observation can be in transforming how we see and interpret the world around us. Now, let's talk about self-reflection, which is a crucial part of ethical and spiritual reasoning. When we reflect on our actions, we consider not only what we did, but also the intentions behind those actions. It's important to ask ourselves why we acted in a certain way and whether our intentions align with our core values. We also need to think about the moral consequences of our choices. This means evaluating how our actions affect others and the broader community. By doing this, we develop a deeper understanding of how our decisions contribute to our character and wisdom. Ultimately, engaging in this kind of self-reflection helps us build a stronger character and greater wisdom, guiding us to act more ethically in all aspects of life. It ties back to the overall theme of the presentation, which emphasizes the importance of thoughtful, morally grounded decision-making in our personal growth and in making positive contributions to society. Let's take a closer look at this simplified model, which outlines the progression from revelation through to judgment. First, revelation is where new insights or truths are revealed, often beyond our initial understanding. From there, we move to reason, where we start to think critically about what we've received, trying to make sense of it logically. Next comes interpretation, where we analyze the meaning behind these revelations, considering context and deeper significance. Then, we use analogy to relate these insights to familiar concepts, making complex ideas more understandable. Evidence follows, where we gather facts and data to support our interpretations. Finally, all these steps lead us to judgment, where we make decisions or form conclusions based on the entire process. This model helps us see how understanding develops, from initial revelation to informed judgment, and it's a helpful framework for approaching complex topics in a thoughtful way. So to wrap up, this slide highlights the three fundamental sources of knowledge that form a balanced system. First, we have wahi, or revelation, which is considered the divine guidance and insight that comes directly from a higher power. It provides us with spiritual truths and moral principles that are beyond human reasoning. Next, there's letter 2bf aql, or reason, which emphasizes the importance of human intellect and logical thinking. It's through reason that we analyze, understand, and interpret the world around us. Lastly, we have tajriba, or experience, which is practical knowledge gained through personal encounters and real-life situations. These three sources, Revelation, reason, and experience complement each other beautifully, creating a well-rounded approach to understanding. By integrating all three, we ensure that our knowledge isn't just theoretical, but also practical and spiritually grounded. This balanced system is essential because it allows us to develop a comprehensive perspective, one that respects divine guidance, values human intellect, and learns from real-world experiences. It ties back to the overall theme of seeking a holistic understanding in our pursuit of knowledge.